It was a cold, eerie evening in the heart of a small, isolated town. The chill in the air sent a shiver down my spine as I arrived at an old, rustic Airbnb, tucked away in the depths of a dense, ancient forest. The setting was perfect for a thrill-seeker like me who enjoyed unconventional stays. The owner, an elderly woman named Mrs. Johnson, greeted me with a warm smile but gave me a curious, cautionary look that hinted at something ominous lurking beneath the surface. As night fell, the forest came alive with strange sounds, rustling leaves, distant howls, and eerie whispers that seemed to echo through the woods. I tried to dismiss my unease as mere paranoia, but it was increasingly difficult not to feel a growing sense of dread. I decided to explore the Airbnb. The creaky wooden floors and dimly lit rooms created an unsettling atmosphere. The walls seemed to carry the weight of a dark history, and I couldn't help but imagine the countless secrets they held. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, and the sensation of being watched grew ever stronger. Mrs. Johnson had left out a crucial detail when advertising her property on Airbnb. It was rumored to be haunted, a place with a disturbing history of unsolved disappearances and bizarre occurrences over the years. I had unknowingly stepped into a nightmare. Late into the night, I heard footsteps echoing in the hallway, followed by faint, eerie whispers that sent a chill down my spine. My heart pounded as I grabbed a flashlight and cautiously followed the sound. It led me to a hidden, dusty attic space, where I discovered old photographs and newspaper clippings that shed light on the unsettling events that had transpired in the house. As I delved deeper into the history, I felt a sudden rush of fear. It became apparent that Mrs. Johnson had lured me here with sinister intentions. She had a connection to the strange occurrences and was involved in some dark rituals that had taken place within these walls. With every step, my heart pounded louder, and I realized I had to escape this place before it consumed me. I made a desperate run for the front door, but just as I reached it, Mrs. Johnson appeared, her eyes filled with malevolence. It was a terrifying struggle to get past her and flee into the dark forest. I finally made it to safety, but the horrors of that night would haunt me forever. The Airbnb was a place of nightmares, a real-life ghost story that I had unwittingly become a part of. And so, I share this tale as a warning to all those who seek the thrill of staying in mysterious places. Be cautious, for you never know what dark secrets may be hidden within the walls of an innocent-looking Airbnb. This nightmarish experience taught me that some mysteries are best left unsolved, and not all adventures are worth pursuing. The Airbnb nightmare still sends shivers down my spine, and I hope that my story serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes, the fear of the unknown is far more terrifying than anything we can imagine. The eerie echoes of that night continue to resonate within me, and I pray that those who read this tale will tread carefully when venturing into the unknown. After my harrowing escape from the Airbnb, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this sinister tale than met the eye. Determined to uncover the truth, I delved into the history of the property and its previous occupants. It turned out that the house had a dark past dating back over a century. It was originally built by a reclusive family known for their strange, otherworldly practices. The property had changed hands multiple times, each owner experiencing increasingly disturbing events. Yet, none had been as malevolent as Mrs. Johnson, who seemed to have harnessed the house's eerie energy for her own dark purposes. The Airbnb had become a focal point for unexplained phenomena, with tales of apparitions, inexplicable sounds, and whispers of forbidden rituals. The chilling stories of those who had lived within its walls painted a picture of a place teetering on the edge of the supernatural. My research into the property's history uncovered rumors of dark rituals that had taken place within the house. Mrs. Johnson's involvement in these ceremonies became increasingly apparent. It was said that she had been initiated into a secret cult that sought to commune with the other side, and the Airbnb served as their secret meeting place. I found accounts of ritualistic symbols hidden throughout the house and cryptic writings etched into the walls of the attic. It was clear that the property was more than just a haunted house. It was a place of power for those seeking to channel the energies of the beyond. The more I uncovered, the deeper I fell into a web of darkness that seemed to envelop the Airbnb. It wasn't just a place of isolated hauntings. It was a nexus of paranormal activity, where the veil between our world and the next was disturbingly thin. The people who had vanished over the years were believed to have become trapped in a spectral limbo, unable to move on to the afterlife. Their tormented souls roamed the house, manifesting as apparitions and disturbing noises that echoed through the night. My encounter at the Airbnb had transformed me. The fear and paranoia that had gripped me during that fateful night had given way to a sense of purpose. I was determined to expose the dark secrets of the place and bring an end to the suffering of the trapped spirits. Armed with knowledge and determination, I returned to the Airbnb, determined to confront Mrs. Johnson and put an end to the dark rituals that had plagued the property for so long. The forest seemed denser, the air colder, and the ominous whispers more persistent than ever as I made my way to the house. Inside, I confronted Mrs. Johnson, who revealed her true, malevolent nature. A harrowing battle of wills ensued, with the very walls of the house seeming to conspire against me. It was a battle between the living and the otherworldly, a struggle to determine the fate of the Airbnb. With every ounce of strength and determination, I fought to banish Mrs. Johnson and the malevolent forces that had taken hold of the property. It was a battle of light against darkness, of the living against the spectral. The very air crackled with tension as I recited ancient incantations and performed rituals to cleanse the house. In the end, it was a battle of wits and willpower, but the spirits that had been trapped within the Airbnb for so long found release. Their anguished cries echoed through the night, fading into the distance as they finally found peace. As the first light of dawn broke over the forest, I emerged from the house, exhausted and forever changed. The Airbnb, once a place of unspeakable horror, was now quiet and still. The malevolent energy that had gripped the property had dissipated, and it had finally been cleansed of its dark history. I left the Airbnb, knowing that I had confronted the supernatural and emerged victorious. The nightmare that had haunted me was over, and I had put an end to the sinister rituals that had plagued the property for so long. As I walked away from the Airbnb, I couldn't help but reflect on the lessons learned from this harrowing experience. Some mysteries are better left unsolved, and not all adventures are worth pursuing. The fear of the unknown can be more terrifying than anything we can imagine, but it can also lead to personal transformation and the courage to confront the darkest of secrets. The Airbnb nightmare had become a part of my past, a chilling chapter in my life that I would never forget. The forest that had once seemed so foreboding was now bathed in the soft light of a new day, a symbol of hope and renewal. I hope that my story would serve as a cautionary tale to those who ventured into the unknown, a reminder that sometimes the line between the living and the supernatural is thinner than we can ever imagine.